Hey everybody, it's Brian. I'm here with a really cool new transmitter. This is the Walkera Devo 8S, a new computer radio that features a color touchscreen, which is pretty cool. But what really brings this transmitter alive is the Deviation custom firmware, which is not a Walkera project, but a community firmware project on the side. What this does is it allows this radio and other Devo radios to support multiple protocols, including DSM2 and DSMX. So this means that you can use it with different kinds of 2.4 gigahertz receivers. And you can also optionally upgrade the hardware to support Flysky, Turnigy 9X, and others as well. It also gives you 255 model memories. It's fully configurable themes, including backgrounds, colors, fonts, and model icons, and increases the number of channels available. So let's have a look and see what it's capable of. Okay, let's just give a quick introduction to the radio. I don't want to go into this is a big how-to, but just sort of give you an idea of what the radio is all about. So here's one of the basic main screens. This is for one of my model. I've done it to the Ultramicro MiG here. Just a couple basic things. You've got the sliders here at the bottom to show. Here's my timer, and that's my throttle selection there. You can also see up here the battery voltage and the transmitting power, because you can adjust that. Name of the model, and then a config button. If you push the config button, that goes into the transmitter config. So change the language, change the mode. I got mode 2. You can calibrate the touchscreen, battery alarm, and calibrate the sticks, that sort of thing. You can move left and right. There's the buttons up here, or there's the physical buttons right here as well. Telemetry is not supported on, this is a DSM2, so it's not there. Just some basic, I've made this a 4-channel, so it's only showing 4 channels there. The input monitor, this is for all of the channels here. So this is the inputs from the switches, not the channels that are being transmitted. You can touch some of the, lock some of the trims here. This is interesting. This is a radio scanner, so you can just turn that on and it'll show you what the, I guess what's transmitting in the 2.4 gigahertz realm there. And just the info screen, and then here you can actually go into the USB mode. You plug this into your computer now with if you turn the USB mode on, it'll appear as just a USB stick or a hard drive or something like that. And that's pretty much it. You can get out with the exit button up here or the exit button here. So, just jump out. Oops, I have to go here. With that, if you want to get into the model configs or change your models, you just push on the model itself. Okay, so first screen we've got here, this is the mix screen. And I'll go into this a little bit, but there's not a whole lot. In fact, let me just get out of here. I'm going to just load a better model that's got some mixes in it. So this is a load model screen. To load a model, you just select the load icon here, and then you choose whichever model you want. I've got some of the graphics for some of my models, but not all of them. I'm going to select the Scimitar because I've got a few mixes in there, although I don't have a graphic for it yet. And you load it, it shows me DSM2, 6 channels, and the transmitting power. And this is also where you bind. So when you want to bind this, all you do is you hit the bind button. There's no pushing a button and turning it on. So that's a really convenient feature I like about this. Okay, let's go back to that mix screen. And as you can see, here are your inputs. Okay, so the throttle, aileron, elevator, rudder, gear, channel 6. Then what you do is you take the input and you mix it to the output. Now this one I've got it mixed to the throttle, a 1-to-1. So it's a basic linear curve. So back out of that. Now aileron is different because I've got an elevon mix. So, oops, I have to go back to this. It's a complex mix. Okay, you can choose it up here, complex, or there's expo as well. There's 2 mixers in here. The first one is to aileron, and that's the initial one. The second one mixes it to the elevator, and so they mix together. And I have to do that with the elevator as well. There's no other real mixes here. I think I mixed the rudder to channel 6, and that's off and on. So I can turn the thrust vectoring on the Scimitar off with the mix button here. And so that's pretty much it. But any of these mixes, you can add another one. So I can make, as it shows here, as a simple one there. So sorry, go back and get a complex. the number of mixers I can just add and add and add and add. Okay, so I can put up to 10 mixes per channel. If I want to get more than that, I can have a virtual channel with another 10 mixes on it. So essentially I can mix to my heart's content here. So that's pretty nice. That's the loads one here. These are the timers. There's 2 timers, and I just put a countdown that's switched on with a throttle and a 4-minute countdown for this model here. You can have a count up timer and have that display as well. So as many timers as, well, 2 timers, and you could have it switch to one of the switches or whatever you like. The throttle, of course, works well. Telemetry is not supported on this one. I'll go into a telemetry model there, and here are the trims, and you can actually adjust the trim step. So it's 0.1 of a trim here. If you want it to, you don't like how it trims, you want to trim more, you just increase that, which is kind of nice. Here's cool. This is the main screen config. So this is where it goes. So I've got the box 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This defaults to your model if you don't put a box up there. I've got my throttle, so channel 1 here, my timer 1 here. You can put a second timer like a timer up, or you can put your telemetry on this screen as well, which is nice. And there's lots more information that you can put on here. Just carry on down, and some of the toggles and everything, like these are the toggles that go down the middle. That shows you if your dual rates are on, or your gear is down, or all those types of things. And there's different menus that you can have as well, so you can have more than one of those screens. I hope I'm making sense here. And that's pretty much it. We'll come back to the mixer. Now I'm just going to go and show you a different model. I'm going to load my mini CP. This is a Walkera model, so I can actually get some. This is a Devo thing. It's got 8. I've put it down to 10 milliwatts for the transmit power, because it's really short range. You don't want to waste more power than you need to. And it's a helicopter type. So countdown timer. I've got a countdown timer and a stopwatch that goes with channel 3, which is the throttle on this particular model. So I've got a count up and a count down. The cool thing is I've got a voltage alarm on my telemetry. So if the battery voltage goes down below 3.3 volts, it beeps. Or if my motor temperature goes above 50 degrees, it beeps at me, which is kind of nice. So the timers are less useful on this, but I still have them going because, well, why not? So here's on my box. I've got let's see, telemetry on these 2 boxes, and then timers. So my voltage goes here, my temperature goes here, the timer down and the timer up. And so as you can see, this is what it looks like. Now it's showing red because it's not connected, but when it's connected, they'll go green. And then of course it'll change color if it goes below the alarm. And as we can see, if we move this up, the timers start to go. So I've got my count up and my count down timers, just so if I want to know how long I've been flying before the alarms go off. That's pretty much it. There's a lot of features on this that I haven't really gone into, but as you can see, it's a very powerful system, and lots and lots of options. That added on to the cool factor of a color touchscreen, which you can use with a stylus or your fat fingers, makes it a great radio in my mind. So lots of mixes, lots of protocols, and the color touchscreen makes this. I'm really liking this radio a lot. So this is it's becoming my go-to radio. Now it is still sort of an experimental thing as far as some of the protocols and everything are. So I'm reserving it to models that aren't dangerous. So not the heavy, lots of energy models like my jets or the larger helicopters, until I get more confidence with it and see that it's not causing me any issues. But going on the forums, people are not having issues with this. The hardware is solid. It's it's certified and everything. It's just whether the software is worthwhile or glitchy or not. So far, so good. All right, so what a really cool radio this is. Not only just for the color touchscreen, but which is sort of the outside. It's a nice looking radio as well. But the fact that you can do a multiple of the radio protocols on board means you don't have to have a bunch of different transmitters to get it to work with your different models. Comes with the telemetry for the Walkera models, DSM2, a lot of the major protocols, plus the amount 256 radio models, which is probably more than most people need, and almost infinite number of mixes that you can do for all the channels. This is, as I mentioned before, an 8-channel radio, but it'll go up to 12 for different protocols as well. So really nice hardware that Walkera's come up with, and the protocol, the firmware that's made by the Deviation Transmitter project really brings this to life. So once again, really happy with this. This has sort of become my my go-to radio now. Kind of makes my Spectrum DX8 look a bit antiquated, and really enjoy using it. A couple things that I don't like about it are the sticks. The gimbals are pretty soft, so I've cranked them up as much as I can, and you can replace the springs with something stronger if you want. It's not the end of the world. It's not a deal breaker for me. Plus, it comes with the stylus. The stylus was initially, and still is, kind of hard to get out of its little spot, but it's loosening up, and so I expect that it'll you know, it's not going to be an issue for very long. It doesn't come with a specific throttle hold switch, and I like to have my throttle down up here, but it's got a flight mode, so I'll probably just incorporate that in. A couple of little details, but overall very happy with this radio. Thanks for watching.